Hello, welcome to this week's video. Let's find out if the Osmo Pocket 3 is all you need to take when you go out for a day out to try and make a vlog. Can it take photos? Does it make good video? And can you do other things with it? Let's find out. Oh, and a bonus tip, I found a fantastic thing that you can do with your Osmo Pocket. You may already be doing it, but I just thought it was a great idea. So stick around and I'll show you what that is. So as I mentioned in my last video, I didn't have any ND filters for the Osmo Pocket 3, and this should give you a good idea why you need them. So I'm not using any filters at the moment. The sun is starting to set to my right here, but it's still blown out, as you can see in the screen just now. Give me a second and I'm going to get a couple of ND filters on and see if you can notice the difference. Quite a bit darker, a bit more rich in tone, and it's starting to control the exposure. And the important thing is I can now have my shutter speed at double my frames per second. So I tend to shoot my YouTube videos in 30 frames per second. So we're sitting here now with a shutter speed of 1/60. And that should give me that nice motion blur, rather than it being what they term too much like a soap opera. The ND filter system I bought was DJI's own filter system, and there are only 3 in it, and this is the lightest one, and it seems quite dark to me, so I might have to do a little bit of research to see if some of the other filters are worthwhile purchasing. We'll find out. As has been well documented on this channel, I've struggled with what gear to take and how much it weighs. Today is absolutely incredible that all I have is the Osmo Pocket. I don't have my Canon R5 and I don't have my drone with me. Can I still make a YouTube video? Can I make it a compelling watch and see if this is something that you want to pick up too? As part of the test for this, what I've done is I've taken some photographs. I went up to Glencoe at the weekend. It was -9 degrees when I got there. There was cloud inversions, there was fog, there was mist, there was frost. There was no snow. However, there was ample opportunity to try and frame up some good shots. I've taken them with the camera. There is a caveat to this. I've already edited them and it took quite a bit of work. The detail in the photograph, given it's only a 9 megapixel camera, was quite lacking in certain areas. Is it good if you want to go out and take a whole day's landscape photography? Probably not. Is it good enough if you're just going out for a walk and you want to take some snaps? Then absolutely. But hopefully you like them, and you can see that if you do want to put a bit of time into them, you can turn out some decent photographs. The shots that I did, I'd set it up that I was shooting in JPEG and RAW, and the files that I've edited are the DNG RAW files. There was plenty of scope to do stuff with colour in them, and I'm actually quite happy with them. Hopefully you are too. So the only thing I've got in addition to using Osmo Pocket 3, and I hold my hands up, I did put the drone up. It was not my intention to do it. I had it in the car, but when I got to Glencoe, it would have been rude not to, but it was breathtaking. The cloud inversions, the morning sun kissing the top of the mountains, it was just to die for. Hopefully you'll enjoy that footage. Some of the footage in the car, just driving along the street, was me actually driving and holding the Osmo Pocket right out in front of me. It actually turned out okay. How did I feel about it? I was still overwhelmed by the fact that I'd left my entire camera bag in the boot of the car. I kept feeling like I'd forgotten something. Every now and then I was just, oh that's right, I don't have it. It was all in my pocket. I don't know where they got the name, the Osmo Pocket, from. It's just that it's a conundrum. What is this big tip then, David? What was the thing that you worked out? I bought the Creator Combo, as you know, which came with the small black tripod. But what it dawned on me was, instead of just attaching the small plastic tripod, because at the moment I've got you sitting on a pile of bricks, you're down beneath me, so therefore the angle is slightly upward, which as we know is not the most flattering. None of them are when it comes to me. But if you can have the camera slightly above you, looking down, you can get a nice, more flattering thinning of the face. So what I did was, I had a spare Arca Swiss plate, and I screwed that onto the bottom of my battery attachment, and it sits on there all the time now. I have the small tripod connector, and I don't put anything on that, and that's when I put the little black one in there. But on my battery one, I have the Arca Swiss plate on there, and that is a 2-second job to add it to my full tripod. Can have it up high, can have it down low, get into better positions using that. So an absolute pro tip, if you've got a spare plate round about for your tripod, get it on the bottom of the battery pack and leave it there. It just makes things so much easier. The one thing I never really touched on in my original review, because I hadn't used it at that point, was the beauty features. It comes packed with some software that can whiten your teeth, it can slim your face, it can fix your eyes. However, I can't seem to get it working. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I know you have to use the Mimo app to actually change the settings, but stick with me and later on in the video I'll show you the beauty mode. I'm absolutely certain I'll get it working. Fingers crossed. Another thing that I've noticed since I've been using it for the last week or two is the fact that the audio from the microphone is set a little bit low in the camera. What I would recommend you do is make sure you've got your mic close to your mouth, about 1 hand's width gap away from your mouth. And even then, if you find that it's not particularly loud, if it's not very loud, then go into the settings and you can change the gain when you're using the thing. Because what I found was the music in my videos was starting to drown out the speaking parts. And I know what you're saying, that's a good thing, David. Shut it, just shut it. The sun's starting to go down. I'm not going to do it. I'm not. I'd like to thank everybody that took time to write comments to me this week, and I entirely agree with you. I haven't quite got the balance of speaky parts to music. When I'm finished doing my talking sections, the music tends to come in a little bit loud. So hopefully in this video you'll see that there'll be a more gentle ramp from me speaking into the anthemic tunes that I decide to put in this week's video, apart from that guy who said they were all rubbish. I thought it would be important to tell you the things that I've now encountered that I'm not overly happy with. And the first one is the most obvious one, and that's the bag that it came in. And whilst it's fantastic and portable, it's too big to go in your pocket and it's too small to fit everything in comfortably. I have looked on Amazon and there's a couple of companies now starting to bring out third-party accessories, and one of them is a larger bag, hard case, and it's got individual sort of pockets for the filters. That's something, stay tuned, I'll let you know if I buy that. The other thing is, funnily enough, the ND filters themselves. They are tiny. The DJI case comes with the little moulded plastic inserts for them, and literally on the very first time I took one out, I lost it over there in the grass. I did find it, thankfully, and it's almost impossible to get them out without getting fingerprints all over the front of them. Make sure you've got a lint-free cloth with you to clean them because you're going to need it. I forgot mine. And finally, as I previously mentioned, it's not excellent for taking photographs if you're a professional photographer. So I am unfortunately going to need to take the Canon R5 with me, but I now have a setup where I can use my Peak Design sling bag, one camera lens, can still fit my drone in there, and the pocket goes, guess where? That's right, in the bag too. So that's nearly us for this week. I've had another stab at trying to get the beauty mode to work, but as you can see, it clearly isn't working at the moment. No way, I'm not doing this. They're going to know, they're going to know.
Trust me, David, they will never know. Trust me.
They are going.
Let's go for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is beauty mode. As you can see, it gives a subtle enhancement to your already prominent features. You can hardly tell that it's on. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful, and if you're on the fence about buying this, I hope it's not came across as negative. There are a couple of niggles in there, but I think with firmware updates, this will only continue to get better. I am still absolutely blown away with this thing. It is the game changer I mentioned last week, and it continues to give me enthusiasm to come out and catch sunsets like this. And finally, I just wanted to say that I am absolutely blown away by the views that last week's video got, the comments that you sent me. Thank you so much. I honestly, I couldn't stop looking at my phone to see what was going on. It's had over 7,000 views in 1 week, which for a channel my size is completely unheard of. And the other great thing about it is we've picked up almost 200 subscribers in that 1 week. We're now just about 20 off 500. I'm almost at the halfway mark to get to the 1,000. If you'd like to come and be part of the journey, please like the video, subscribe, because it's only going to get better from here on in as I learn what I'm doing. I know I've said the next episode of The Road to Glencoe is coming soon. It is coming next week, or it is definitely getting shot next week, whether it be rain, hail, sleet, thunder. It's definitely getting made next week. I'll be editing it hopefully on the Sunday, but it will be out shortly thereafter, so it's not going to be a camera review. I just felt that this thing was so special that I had to do something about it. So thanks for bearing with me, and I promise you next week is all going to be about the mountains, photographs and all of that stuff, and the hills are over there and I'll stop that now. Thanks for watching. See you next week, guys. Take care.